Hi singers, welcome back. I'm very excited to continue our music theory for singers series of lessons. So if you haven't watched lesson 1 yet, please start there. It is about note names and sharps and flats. So that is definitely going to be stuff that you need to already know to understand today's lesson. So this series is for singers who may have never played an instrument but are amazing singers and really want to be able to go into a rehearsal or a band setting and just kind of grasp more vocabulary, more understanding intellectually about what's being discussed so that we can be better musicians, right? The goal is to always be growing. So scales. So like I said, we already went over the note names, and scales is just kind of building on that. Here, let me make sure you can see my keyboard. Okay, so scales is really building on that. For simplicity's sake, we're gonna start with the C major scale because like we learned last time, if you take out all the black notes on the keyboard, can you even see my hand? Oh my gosh, sort of. I'll have to come up with a better plan for this for next time, but if you can see my hand, if you start on the C note and you just play the white notes, then you'll have a C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it's a really easy one to start when it comes to thinking about this type of stuff. So what makes a scale? As we learned last time, the black notes are a half step away from the white notes, right? Now there's 2 spots on the keyboard. If you look straight down on a keyboard, just like Google it or something and you'll be able to see, there's 2 spots where there's actually not a black note. And those are also half steps. So any note that's right next door is gonna be a half step. So that's where you get all the notes. So it goes like this. This is what a half step sounds like. This is called the chromatic scale. So that's obviously not what we work with, right? When it comes to like general singing, you're gonna sing something more like la 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 la, right? Sound familiar? So that's called a major scale. It's something that's in Western music. So if you're familiar with like Indian music or Chinese music, there's gonna be different types of scales, and there's all kinds of scales in Western music as well, but this is the major scale. This is the one we're gonna base everything I'm teaching off of for the most part. And this is the way that the scale is set up. So it's already in your ear, you already kind of understand it. So this is just me breaking down what it is that your ear already knows. And it's very simple. It's just, you describe the scale by describing the whole steps and half steps in between each note. So the first step is whole, whole. This one's a half, whole, 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 half. Okay, so again, it's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, right? And again, just breaking it down so that you can understand kind of conceptually, that's the arrangement that makes the major scale. The major scale is what all of our Western music is based off of. So it just kind of basically means it's assumed that that's the format that you're going to be working with. Harmonics is a word that you may hear a little bit. So it's the harmonic basis for what we're doing. So when it gets to chords and stuff down the road, all of these chords and all of these not rules, but concepts are based on the idea that we're using a major scale. And it's based off of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay. You don't need to memorize that or anything. Just understanding the concept will help make sense for moving around and singing different scales. And what I mean by that is, so let's say we're in the key of C major, so that means that we're starting on a C note. I'm gonna sing numbers, I'm gonna assign numbers, but I'm gonna start on C. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So instead of 7, we get lazy and we just sing sev. That's why I sang that. So that's the C major scale, starting and ending on C. And all you do is assign numbers. So I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so very, very simple. Does that make sense? Basic C major scale. So then what you can do is you can really sing a major scale starting on any note that exists, right? So if you don't want to start here, you could start here. You could start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? G major scale. So the only thing that changes for you as a singer is kind of where in your range the notes fall, right? But of course, when it comes to the notes themselves, like I said, all of the white notes, if you play that starting on C, that's a C major scale. So once you go to G, if you want that to be your home base, you have to kind of mess around with the notes and which notes you're playing so that the arrangement is still whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, right? What I talked about before. So with G, it's pretty easy. You're just gonna add 1 sharp to the note F, and you're gonna play an F sharp. So it sounds like this. So when you're switching around keys, all you need to do as an instrumentalist is add sharps or flats, like we discussed last time, to make sure that the arrangement is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Does that make sense? So as a singer, you just lower your voice and you start in G, right? But instrumentalists are thinking about this and they're talking about this. So they're memorizing every single key and all that stuff. So this is really important for you to know, not only so that you can be in these rehearsals and make sense of what people are saying, but when we, down the road, when we discuss the idea of chords, this is something you'll really need to know, and a whole bunch of other things. So that's all for today, the idea of a scale. So again, C major scale is all the white keys, and then others you can add sharps or flats to make it whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Check out the notes if any of that, if you want to see it written down. I think that might help a lot. But yeah, that's a scale. So next time we talk, we're gonna continue to dive into the idea of assigning numbers to the scale. That's called scale degrees. And that is gonna be like the #1 mode of communication between singers when it comes to like a totally hearing-based rehearsal. So no sheet music at all. You're gonna be really, really relying on scale degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will be your absolute best friend. So thanks for tuning in. Can't wait for our next lesson on scale degrees and how to apply that to your singing.